Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master. I'm here with my brother, and Throne of Eldraine has arrived. The cards that we've been so excited for. We're gonna playtest them today. We've got Oko, Thief of Crowns, and Brazen Borrower. Are these the cards to help push Merfolk over the top in Modern? Well, to find out, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech for these very exciting additions, we're going to thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com. And Throne of Eldraine has created very new, unique cards for your cube. If you want to find out how adventures are going to fit into the cube format, you're going to want to learn from Aaron Paquette on his article series called Cubism on themanabase.com. Your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the MTG Mastermind. The MTG Mastermind is the coaching program, the hub of great minds to help you take your game to the next level, a welcoming community that will push you and help you strive to reach your MTG goals. If that interests you, you're going to want to check out the MTG Mastermind. Alright, so we got some exciting cards here. We've been talking about Oko, Thief of Crowns for quite a while. Why is this so important to the modern Merfolk archetype? So the first thing is, we've never had a solid, great Planeswalker that we could be excited about. Most of them cost 4 or higher, which is way too slow. It competes with like the Master of Waves slot. And in general, if the Planeswalker is coming out on turn, it's not even a matter of turn 4. If it costs 4 mana, then it actually means it's coming out on turn like 5 or 6 or 7. But with cost at 3, it can reliably come out somewhere between turns 3 and 4. But it needs to have some synergy with our deck. What are we hurting for? What do we need?
Artifact destruction.
Artifact destruction. It doesn't exactly destroy the artifacts. It does even better. It removes the abilities. It removes the abilities. So Oko's +2, target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3.
So perpetuity.
Perpetuity. This is not until end of turn. I mean, I screwed up. When I looked at this ability, I just assumed this has to be until end of turn. This is permanent. So your opponent plays Ensnaring Bridge, turn it into an elk. It's an elk now.
Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, you have all the elks you want, and this is a plus ability. It's not minus. We can keep doing this. So that ability is fantastic to remove problematic artifacts from our opponent's side of the board. But not only that, we can use this on our own artifacts. We can use this on our own Ether Vial if we want. If this Ether Vial is useless, okay, let's turn it into a 3/3 creature. Now, what if there are no artifacts on the board? Well, we can create them with these food tokens. So +2, create a food token. It's like a clue. Instead of drawing a card, you gain life. But very important, you have to tap it. You have to tap it to do that. It's not like a clue where you just sacrifice it. So it's a tap, pay 2, sacrifice, gain 3 life. That's going to be useful against burn. I don't know how effective this is going to be. We're going to have to wait and see, because I mean, it's quite a bit of time to +2 this thing, create your food token, then you're going to have to pay another 2 mana to sacrifice it to gain the life. But I mean, Oko will run away with the game against burn if this thing gets to stay around. Look at the loyalty.
Starts at 4.
Starts at 4, goes straight to 6. That's serious. That means burn would have to use 2 burn spells on it to kill it. So yeah, huge advantage for us against the burn deck. And yeah, we can make elks. I mean, we can turn their creatures into elks if necessary. I guess it is not really to our advantage to do that. And also we can, well, I mean, it has some synergy with, like, we turn their creature into an elk. No, I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking like it destroys and turns into a token. It does not destroy, it just turns it into a token. So you can't like Harbinger it back to your opponent's hand. But you can Tidebinder Mage it down. I'm not playing with Tidebinder Mage, however, in this list. And third ability, exchange control of target artifact or creature you control with another one. Target creature and opponent controls power 3 or less. So not bad. I mean, we could give them a useless food token or our Ether Vial. Huh?
You can steal their Ensnaring Bridge.
No, we don't want to do that. I don't need their Ensnaring Bridge. And then we just take... No, we can't take... We can only take a creature. See, we can exchange an artifact or a creature, but we're only getting a creature.
Oh, no artifact.
Yeah, so we can't take their... We don't even want their Ensnaring Bridge. Doesn't matter. So we can take... And it's not converted mana cost, sorry, it's power. So pending the strength of the creature, we may or may not be able to take it. Who cares? This ability is not important. It's just gravy on top of everything else. The most important thing is we can make creatures or artifacts. Remember, it's artifact or creature. So, Primeval...
Karn is an artifact.
No, it's not.
Oh.
The original Karn was a artifact creature, but not the new ones. They're all planeswalkers. So anyone who has those questions, well, my brothers helped answer them. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting how this pans out. It's hard to predict how Oko is gonna play out because putting a bunch of elks on. I mean, I've played with Pongify in Standard. It's very awkward giving your opponent 3/3 creatures, but also you can make your own creatures 3/3s. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out when we put a bunch of elks on the board, because I can continuously turn our opponent's creatures into 3/3s. I guess that's the point. You turn their like Tarmogoyf into a 3/3, and then you can steal it later. So that's the point with Oko. I'm hoping it's going to take over the game. But anyway, so why are we playing 2? I'm only playing 2 because in matchups where we're going to answer Ensnaring Bridge with the +1, they're going to bring in Pithing Needle effects. In fact, they might even go, like, after they see Oko, they're just going to go turn 1 Pithing Needle, Oko Thief of Crowns, and then call it a day. So that's the reason I don't want to go overboard on Oko. I think it's a very good card, but I have play tested with other planeswalkers like Teferi, Time Reveler, which was a great card, actually, in Merfolk. I thought it was great, and if we ever go back to Blue-White Merfolk, we would play with Teferi, Time Reveler. But I was playing with 4, and it got clunky because in all the matchups where it was awesome, they would just play some Pithing Needle effect and deal with it. So Oko Thief of Crowns, I'm maxing out on 2 for now. Maybe we'll play more, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, certainly other decks are not afraid of Pithing Needle effects. Jund plays as many Liliana of the Veils as they could. So the other cool new card, Brazen Borrower. So it's basically Echoing Truth, that also is a 3/1 creature. Also very good. So it might be the replacement to Harbinger of the Tides from now on. Honestly, it just might. Like, Harbinger is super situational. This is not. And the point is, like, Harbinger is... you gotta look at it this way. At 4 mana, you can situationally bounce something with Harbinger and put a body on the battlefield. Brazen Borrower for 5 mana will bounce anything on the board except lands and put a 3/1 body, basically unblockable body on the battlefield. It has flying, so maybe something can block it, but that's okay. It can only block creatures with flying, not a deal breaker. Well, hopefully not a deal breaker. We'll see. There are some advantages to Harbinger. Harbinger can block. Brazen Borrower cannot block everything. But the point is, Petty Theft, which is an instant adventure, return target non-land permanent to its an opponent controls to its owner's hand, is going to act like Echoing Truth 90% of the time. Most of the time, we're just bouncing stuff from our opponent, like some very rare percent of the time, I don't know, 3% of the time, we're bouncing some of our stuff, and 7% of the time, we're bouncing more than one thing. But it doesn't happen often enough, and I think Echoing Truth, I've hated it for years. You've heard me that I've hated it for years. I've never loved Echoing Truth. I've always tried to find replacement cards for Ensnaring Bridge, like Venser, Shaper Savant. So I'm very happy to see Brazen Borrower. I think this is a clear upgrade from Echoing Truth, no question about it. So we get to bounce things. Most of the time we're just bouncing our opponent's non-land permanents, and we get access to a 3/1 creature. So what we can do is, for 2 mana, we play the adventure, bounce something, Brazen Borrower gets exiled, and then we can play the 3/1 creature from exile. It doesn't work the other way around. This is a tricky thing. So you can't play the 3/1 creature first and then have access to the adventure card later. It's only if you ever play the adventure card first, then the card gets exiled, and then you can play it later as a creature. At flash speed. Anytime. At flash speed. So anyway, that's cool. I'm not going to say that much about the deck. I had to adjust the mana base a little bit to accommodate Oko. I have something like 12 green sources. I'm hoping this is enough for Oko. I'm including Silvergill Adapt into the deck to give us a little bit more grind and card draw against a lot of attrition-based decks. I would rather there's 4 Spreading Seas in the main deck, but I really want to playtest Brazen Borrower, so we're putting Brazen Borrower in the main deck and putting some Spreading Seasons in the sideboard. I got some Chalice of the Voids because, in my opinion, in the leagues, there's a lot of... I like 20% of the decks I play against are weak to Chalice of the Void. I have some Graveyard Hate. Collector Oof, if you're going green, I might as well play 4 of these. It's basically, whenever you're up against an artifact deck, you definitely want to see this guy. Some extra counter spells with Deprive, and some Shaper Sanctuaries. Alright, so that's it. For Simic Merfolk is Oko, Thief of Crowns and Brazen Borrower, the next upgrade for Modern Merfolk. Let's find out. We won the die roll, it's a good omen, but we have a 1-lander with Vial on the play, but I actually don't like it. We don't have enough. We have like 1 colorless spell in our hand that if we draw an island, we can cast all our stuff. Oh no, we have a second one. We have Brazen Borrower. I'm appreciating less and less 1-landers on the play, but you know what? I guess I'm going to keep this. So we have Brazen Borrower and the Spreading Seas if we draw a blue source. But I'm less in love with these sort of hands, especially with Simic Merfolk, which gets a bigger edge from just curving out and being super aggressive. Hopefully one of the next 2 cards is... Because as it is, Once Upon a Time, we're already seeing it. Oh, maybe I should have played with more Grafdigger's Cages. If this is Neoform. For free.
Free...
Instant speed. Allosaurus Rider. Alright, Neoform is online. Now we have a terrible hand for Neoform.
Ancient Stirrings.
We're going to get killed
That's
here.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Free Ancient Stirrings.
Free Ancient Stirrings. I only have 2 Grafdigger's Cages. And again, I'm playing Grafdigger's Cage over over Relic because of decks like Neoform. Which is not that common, but... See, I'm getting...
Punished.
Well, the thing is, against a super aggressive deck, it's punishment. If I was up against Jund, it wouldn't be so bad.
This is not an aggressive deck.
Well, this is a super aggressive deck. It's a super aggressive combo deck.
This deck is a slot machine.
It appears to be doing nothing right now. Land? Ooh, okay, so I got it on time. What do I even want to do here?
Bounce target permanent. Get that thing ready.
Bouncing anything doesn't matter. Because they can, in response, do stuff. I guess we're just going to attack. We're going to attack every turn, and hopefully that's enough to win. So they found the Allosaurus Rider. They're like halfway to their combo.
Ha.
Every point of damage matters, so I'm going to be tapping out to do this. What are they? So what are they missing? Are they missing like the Neoform? Are they missing? They're missing something.
Yeah, their fucking brain.
Or maybe they just needed 3 mana. That's possible. Here we go.
We're gonna see another. It's the last card in the stack situation. That was amazing.
It's always the last one. Yeah, it can't resign because of stuff like that. Okay, so we'll yield through this turn because we have nothing we can do. So let's see if Once Upon a Time is the card. Puts this deck over the top. But frankly, I mean, they're comboing off on turn 3. That's not a big deal. That's not too hard for us. We can... I mean, if they're comboing off on turn 1 very often, that's a problem.
20 years from now, people are going to be finding ways of schlepping this guy onto the battlefield with some trick.
This guy has never been played fairly, ever. There's no demon tribal deck out there that's running Grizzlebrand. Yeah, they might as well have made it just 8 black mana. Like, it was never going to get cast fairly anyway. Someone name me a deck. I challenge the internet. Someone name me a deck that was trying to play Grizzlebrand like in a fair, old-fashioned way, even with Dark Rituals. Dark Ritual, Grizzlebrand. I'll accept that. But I don't think it exists. It's just show and tell, and Eldritch Evolution and Reanimate, and it's never anything fair. It's just BS ways. You can just look at a deck list. Grizzlebrand? Oh, okay, this is some stupid combo deck. Same thing with Emrakul. So what is the mana threshold that basically makes a card uncastable? Like, okay, like Emrakul is uncastable. They literally could just put 100 on Emrakul, and it's the same thing, right? There's gotta be a like mana limit where like competitive Magic players are just fuck it, we can't cast these cards, and it has to be cheated in play. Obviously, 8 mana is either 8 mana or like 4 black and 4. I mean, there are some castable cards. We do see like Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger at 10 colorless mana, sees play in Tron. So there needs to be like a color threshold as well. At 4 of a color and 4 generic, it's uncastable. Or maybe the threshold is at 3 or at 2. Or maybe even at 1. I don't know. It's probably 2. At 2 very specific colors and 6 generic, the card is uncastable. What is complicated about this? Oh, our opponent's double queuing, I'm sure. Or did they draw 7 cards and it was garbage?
That would be pretty funny.
That would be funny. And we do have Brazen Borrower. We can bounce this thing. We absolutely can bounce the Grizzlebrand. Oh my god!
They whiffed.
Nothing happened? Well, we have Brazen Borrower. Do I play it?
Yeah. Not bad.
That is great. Well, that makes it that they can't combo off again. Okay, so let's petty theft the Grizzlebrand away. Right now, let's put our opponent to a decision where they want to if they want to draw another 7 cards.
Adventure time, bitch.
Ooh, and I can't force a negation. Oh, so what? I should have done this on their turn. That sucks. I will admit that sucks. So good question. If I play the adventure part and it gets countered, oh, it just goes to the graveyard. So you don't get the second half. That's too bad, because if I bounced on their turn, I could use force and negation. I guess we can do nothing. So they can go up to 16. With an attack from Grizzlebrand. Well, we were gifted a turn. It looks like we screwed it up. Well, I mean, they could have had another Veil of Summer for all I know in their hand. So at this turn that we lose? Or is this the plan? Is this the new plan with this deck? Just attack and win with a Grizzlebrand.
Smash your face.
Unfortunately, they can activate twice. But if they activate twice and they can't continue, that would be fine for us. Because then we can play Spreading Seas, Master of the Pearl Trident, and win. Interesting to note that Veil of Summer, I believe it gives hexproof to your permanents. Yeah, you and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and black until end of turn, so that actually puts a hurt on Spreading Seas. They could Veil of Summer, protect their land from a Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas losing value.
No.
This card is only enabled to combo decks. Maybe they needed it. I don't know. What do you think? Is Veil of Summer a mistake or a genius card?
There are no
Certainly,
mistakes in Magic.
Oh yeah? A lot of people would debate that. Another Allosaurus Rider. All right. You got it. You got it, Bob. Nine life. I'm not close enough to actually winning here. Winning. Because if I want to play Spreading Seas, I'll only have 8 power in play. Take a life. 1 life. One life.
Oh, these double cures.
No, I think they're taking their time. I think they're unfortunately in an awkward spot where they just can't continue. Or maybe this deck is just playing differently. They're not playing for the combo kill in one shot, which I could respect. I mean, like, putting a Grizzlebrand in play against most decks just wins the game anyway.
You scum.
I don't know. I don't think this player's scum. They're playing at a reasonable pace. If they can't gain life in their hand and continue to draw cards with Grizzlebrand, then I would say they are. But they have the option to draw 7 right now. They're just opting not to. What are they exiling, by the way? So they've got a lot of cards here. Summoner's Pact, Manamorphose, Chancellor of the Tangle, Neoform, more Summoner's Pacts. A lot of stuff that they can't use very well. But oh boy, these are all going to be enormous creatures next turn.
No. No.
Clean up. I guess this is always no.
Here comes Oko.
Here comes Spreading Seas. I can get hit for... If they play a land, these will be 5/5s. I can get hit for 12. Not that I want to get hit for 12. I think we're losing this. I think we're just losing this. The Allosaurus Riders are actually killing us. Because I'm going to Spreading Seas. I can attack for 8, but that's nothing. And then I have to block a lot of stuff. So if I'm on blocking duty, that's not good either. I guess there's some world where I attack with the Mutavault. They just chump block. They have to chump block 2 things. I get in for 5. Get in for 5. They go to 4. They gain 7. Go up to 11. I still can't win. Because I don't have to play Spreading Seas here. I can just attack with everything. And they have to block 2 things. I guess that's my only chance at winning. It's not a good chance, but like this is literally my only chance at winning. Maybe they'll just block 1 creature. Maybe. These blocks will kill off both these creatures. These blocks will kill off everything. But they'll lose the Allosaurus Riders. Okay, so this line is... I'm not thrilled with it. But we didn't have another choice.
Now, bitch.
They're going to attack for 7 in the air. And I have no army. I have to assume my opponent has no land. The thing is, as they keep playing more lands, these get bigger. So they were 4/4s that turn, but then they were going to become 5/5s next turn. And I would have to at least block 2 of them.
Take the son of a bitch up for Oko. Transform him into a...
Oko has to be cast with mana.
What? You can't cast...
It's a planeswalker.
You can't cast planeswalkers from an Aether Well.
No.
That's news to me.
Sometimes... Okay, I understand that we don't play with planeswalkers in this deck very much. It very specifically says you may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Planeswalkers are not creatures.
Can worry about a victory. That too. He took a chance.
If actually, yeah, I win if I can draw a land. I would win if I draw a land. Assuming they don't have Veil of Summer, which I assume they do.
Cycling.
I've never seen this card before. The Edge of Autumn. If you control 4 or fewer lands, search your library for a basic land card. Okay, so this is what we're going to attempt to counter. But I assume our opponent has at least one Veil of Summer in hand. Or even a second Nourishing Shell. We got 20 cards in hand. But there is an outside chance that we can win. By miracle. Summoner's Pact in response.
And how are you going to pay for that at upkeep?
Yeah! What is going to go on? Oh, well, I guess their intention is just to kill me this turn. That's the idea. They're not going to pay for it at upkeep. But the onus now is on them to win the game. Because if they don't, we win the game. They have 7 cards. Oh, they have exactly 7 cards left in their deck. So if they draw 7, they will definitely draw all 7 cards. So what are you worried about? Just draw the last 7 cards. Unless their deck is just constructed without that instant win combo. Right? What the hell is this? Another thing that might as well cost infinite mana. Oh, it has Convoke. Trample 9/14. Okay, you can do whatever you want. Okay, they can Simian Spirit Guide next turn to pay for the pact. That they can do. I don't think they've used up all their Simian Spirit Guides. They've used up like 1.
Well, there's nothing left in your deck. Took the last.
Oh, that's true. So they still have to win this turn. Yeah, otherwise they will, or unless they have Laboratory Maniac. Did they just find Laboratory Maniac? Okay, so they win. That's fine. Now, good news for us. We've got a lot of cards against this deck. So we got Deprive. We got the Chalice of the Void. So a lot of people aren't believing in Chalice of the Void. I believe in Chalice of the Void. We got Grafdigger's Cage. Don't need the rest of this stuff. What do we not need? Is Chalice on 1 going to be good? Because it hits Veil of Summer. Chalice on 0. So we bring in Chalice of the Void to put on 0 so that they can't Summoner's Pact. That's a big deal. We don't want... Okay, we don't want Oko. Oko, you're pretty useless here. Brazen Borrower, we're going to think about you, but probably don't want you.
Almost had it. Almost had you said it.
Take out 1 Trickster. I want everything as low to the ground as possible. Silver Gill Adept is not bad. Draws us cards into more interaction. So anyway, our deck is pretty primed to beat. It's not as stacked as the previous versions where I had like 4 Chalice of the Void, 4 Grafdigger's Cage.
Good stuff.
But it's pretty good.
Ugh. Even I'll say, ugh.
It's got a counterspell. I'm gonna keep it. It's not really something I want to throw away.
They mulligan.
Good.
Go to 5.
I'll probably...
Went to 5. He's gonna go to 4. Come on.
The more they mulligan, the better it is for us.
How low can you go?
We're gonna have a slow clock, but I'm hoping it's gonna be okay. We can't take forever, because they have Veil of Summer. So they can, like, take the time to also have backup themselves. Does our life total matter? I guess it does. Okay, I'll play Kumena Speaker. Next turn, I'll probably just play an Island Pass. Or Island Attack for 2 pass. Hold up Deprive just in case they combo off on turn 2. Is it possible? Maybe it's not possible. Okay, so they're going to go to 6 cards. 3 cards is Allosaurus Rider. Eldritch Evolution. Yeah, I guess they can combo off.
Be conservative.
I don't really want to. Okay, I've got Master of the Pearl Trident. That helps a lot. I'm going to just play it. No, I'm not going to throw the game away. So I'm going to take a turn to be a little bit more aggressive. They mulligan the 5. If they kept a 7-card hand, I would just pass. But they went down to 5. I am a little bit more certain that they have less resources than they normally would have. And they have to take a little bit more time to actually combo off. I'm hoping they're now thinking about comboing off this turn, which is very concerning to me.
Yeah, nothing to lose. Could've just waited.
Well, the thing is, if I wait, then that means next turn I have to play Kumena Speaker, which in that case, the next turn I can play Master of the Pearl Trident. And I'm only playing around like, I guess I'm not playing around. Like, if they have Eldritch Evolution, it costs 1 more mana, which means they need to have Simian Spirit Guide in their hand, which means they need, like, extra combinations of cards which they may or may not have. Whereas here, I'm putting them straight on Neoform, so I have, like, this 1-turn window to do all this. Alright, so now we've got a good clock. And we can now close this game out pretty quickly. Or, like, pretty time efficiently. Now we're putting, like, very real pressure on our opponent to combo off. Because they're going to die in 2 turns. Cycling. Cycling again. See, these cards do nothing. Man, I fear the Manamorphose into Manamorphose into Manamorphose against some decks. This deck, nope. It's a sign of weakness. Uh-oh. Do you have Neoform plus Veil of Summer? Well, they don't have the mana for it if they do. Okay, we win. I can bring the Botanical Sanctum back to hand.
3, 2, yeah.
Yeah, they've conceded. I guess maybe they could have Pact of Negation. I don't remember if this deck plays that. So, no changes, I don't think. Yeah, no changes. Submit. Run it back. See, we put pressure on them. The pressure was on. Now, that hand that we had, 2 Kumena Speakers and a Deprive, I don't think that's keepable on the draw. I think on the draw I have to be a little bit more greedy to find a Force Negation, Grafdigger's Cage, or a Chalice of the Void. I think Deprive is probably one of our worst cards. I mean, maybe I would keep it if it came with an Ether Vial. Oh, well, unless they combo off immediately, we win. Or I guess that's not true. They could have Force of Vigor.
Force of Vinegar.
Force of Vigor would screw us. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's turn 1 kill territory right here. Do we die? They kept 7 cards. Pass the turn. Please. Let me see 1 turn, damn it. Oh no. Okay, we lose. I guess we make them. Well, this is what Neoform does.
Could be the last card on the bottom. Happened before.
It could be the last card on the bottom, but they like. Why be so greedy? Just win with the stupid Grizzlebrand in play. That's all. Just win with the Grizzlebrand in play. Yeah, the only thing that this hand lost to is a turn 1 kill. I mean, it could probably still lose to Force of Vigor, but what is that? That still costs cards. It still costs a lot of cards in their hand. I'm playing on with the outside chance that something horribly wrong happens, but we don't really have any way of bouncing a Griselbrand once it's in play. Not that that's something I even want to plan for. We didn't play this game perfectly. Like, there was that opportunity for us to Brazen Borrower the Griselbrand at their upkeep. I did on my turn, which disabled my Force of Negation. It's possible it still wouldn't have been enough, but you know, there's some universe where that worked and we won the match. Or at least won that game. So what do you all think? Should Neoform be a deck? No. Is this a fair deck in Modern? Stupid. This is how it should be?
It's really dumb.
It's a good question. Should there be like a rules committee for Modern, like they have for Commander? Like in Commander, they would not put up with this. They would just not put up with this. It's just no. You can't do that here. What is wrong with you? This like defeats. I mean, this breaks all the rules for Modern. It breaks all the rules.
That's what they said about KCI.
And it's banned. You hear that, Neoform? You're next. You're absolutely next. No one buy into this deck. Borrow the cards if you have to. Rent the cards online. No one buy any cards to this deck. It's silly. I'm curious, do they need Manamorphose? Is this just a way to cycle the deck, turn it into like 56 cards? What is the point of this? You're never hard casting Griselbrand. There's Laboratory Maniac, and there they win. Ta-da! Alright, so, that was just an unfortunate round 1 loss to...
Stupid jank.
Yeah, well, it's not jank. This is powerful, serious stuff. I think we should still have a very good game. Unfortunately, we lost because we were on the draw here. But anyway, that's round 1. Just going to chalk it up. You know, you're going to win some, you lose some. We're going to move on to round 2. Well, we're doing very well with the die rolls. We'll keep this hand. Not the most aggro hand, but maybe we'll get to see some use out of Brazen Borrower. Turn 2, bounce something. Turn 3, put the Borrower in play, and then try to tempo our opponent out with Merfolk Trickster.
Emulgant.
Good. Some people think that you can, after you've bounced something, you can then Brazen Borrow, or some people think you can force a negation exiling Brazen Borrower and then casting it, then cast her from exile. It doesn't work like that. You can only cast her from exile if you use the adventure side first. So if it gets exiled for any other reason, it won't work. That is awkward. I think I might ignore it. I think I am going to ignore this. And then I will... I don't know what we're up against, but I'm going to keep my options open. It sort of looks like burn. Could still be. That is not a burn card. That is a Blood Crypt. So is Mardu? So ideally, I want to use Benthic Biomancer to loot away this Ether Vial. If I get the opportunity. Or is it Rakdos Burn? Oh, it's Dredge. Well, that is quite the pickle. I could force a negation this. It will slow them down, but it also slows me down. I don't really have a lot of gas to work with here. It's a difficult spot. I mean, I really don't want this to resolve, But I don't have a lot to work with right now. I don't have a good clock. I guess I'm going to force a negation this, get rid of the Brazen Borrower. It can get blocked by a lot of flying creatures, particularly Narcomoeba. And I think...
Flash him in.
I guess so. Oops. This is not the greatest plan, though. No, this is the greatest plan.
It's going to work. It's going to work.
Another thing is, I really like saving force negation for better cards in the future. Okay, well, this clock is very good. Top decking that Mistbinder changed everything. Now, do I still want to play this Ether Vial?
Nah, save it in your hand. You might have dabbed Benny next turn.
Or I'll just play something.
Or not.
I'm going to play it. If I'm using any mana to cast something, I might as well... Oh, there's the conflagrate. That sucks. I can wipe out our board. That was a good dredge. It was a very good dredge. That's what they can... Yeah, they can, like, blow up our board. Or at least kill off 2 creatures. Mistbinder, Trickster. Probably Mistbinder, Biomancer, 1 to us. Yeah, you couldn't brick for, like, 1 turn. Is it hopeless? I don't know if it's hopeless. But it's certainly not good. Okay, so we'll sacrifice this. So we draw. We can play this Botanical Sanctum. Oh, no, we're not going to play Botanical Sanctum anymore. One good... Well, our opponent doesn't have really anything to do. So that's some good news. I mean, they'll dredge, but if the dredge is not very good, then...
They're boned.
We'll have a lot of time. So what do they find here? Found an Narcomoeba. I can't see behind... What else is going on here? Stinkweed, Shriekhorn. So that dredge sucked. What do they dredge back? Golgari Thug. Okay, we're buying more time. Come on, something. Silvergill. I'll even take that. I'm just gonna power through these things. If they want to double block, that's fine with me. I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit back at all.
Bad dredges, come on.
The dredges aren't great still.
No land drop? No land drop.
And they have no green mana for Life from the Loam, so they can't even dredge that. And if they want the blood gas, they need to take a draw step. So actually, we're sort of in the driver's seat. We're sort of in the driver's seat. Sort of. Anything can happen. They can hit a... All they need to do is hit a Creeping Chill. It changes everything. But if we need to draw like 1 more Lord or something. Or at least a giant creature there would have helped a lot. They still find nothing.
No land drop? No land drop!
Well, if they keep putting... See, the thing is, if you're a dredge opponent... I'm actually going to fetch. Send the deck. Something unusual. Oh, you are going to play a Golgari Thug now. When it dies... When it dies, put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Did that change anything? Thug. So there's no land draws because they have no land cards in their hand, and every single time they dredge, they take a dredge card and put it in their hand. It doesn't help them.
You forgot to thin the deck.
That's okay. Thinning the deck is overrated. Okay, what can you put on top of your deck? Put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. I'm just thinking, is there any dredge cards left in here?
Stinky Imp?
No, there's no Stinky Imp. Look, and how another thing is like how many green sources hit the bin. Well, there's a lot of fetch lands. Dark. Oh, there is one dredger. So, okay, there's one dredger. If there's a dredger, then let's just attack. There is some chance to, like, not attack so they can't block and put the Golgari Thug. Or, sorry, put some... like, they now have a dredger in the graveyard, but they had a Darkmoor Salvage? So they're putting a Narcomoeba back on top of their deck, which gives them another blocker. Okay. I get it. I get it. So they're going to dredge. Narcomoeba's going to come back and play. Now they get a Prized Amalgam. But I think that's it. I think that's the end now.
Because that son of a bitch comes in tap.
Oh, no, but they can actually hardcast the Golgari Thug again.
Spreading Seas would be nice.
So Spreading Seas wins. What else wins? A Lord does not win. Trickster wins. I don't know. There's enough that I'll fetch. Thinning the deck is not a high EV play, but I don't think I'm gonna get punished for it here.
Come on.
Does Oko win? Oko wins.
Spreading Seas.
Pretty terrible draw. So we'll attack with everything. They're still playing off the top of the... Like, if they want to keep dredging, they can't play land drops and they can't do anything meaningful. Or I guess this is meaningful, right? So they now have this infinite loop of creating blockers. And still dredging a bit. So now I have 3 blockers. Now I need another creature to get in the way here. So they're on blocking duty, so I need, like, Brazen Borrower, Oko to turn this artifact into a creature.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do you do this?
Yeah, why you do this?
Can you...
No, I can't do anything, so I'm gonna just pass. They're gonna get another Golgari Thug activation. They might find that Creeping Chill. Life from the Loam. Still not great dredges. Their early dredges were good. Their later dredges are garbage. So I'm assuming they're going to play Golgari Thug? Nope. What are you going to do? Oh, I guess you just keep dredging with Life from the Loam. Oko, I still think wins. Brazen Borrower still wins. Okay, that's good. We kept a land. We kept a card in our hand. Also, Spreading Seas just wins. Yeah, that's good. That'll work.
She is voice. Next time.
No, they didn't. I was like wondering what am I going to target here? It's not necessary. Okay, so cards that we want. Spreading Seas is not as effective as it used to be, but I'll bring it in. I wonder if Shaper Sanctuary is good. Gravedigger's Cage for sure. Oko looks terrible. Yeah, this looks too clunky. This is unfortunately not a good league for Oko. Probably Spreading Seas is good. Because that wasn't like the new blue dredge. That was like an old-fashioned dredge, just no faithless looting. They're probably playing with Insolent Neonate. I don't mind Brazen Borrower. Or do I? Maybe I do. Should I have Shaper? It seems clunky and slow.
Brazen Borrower was good.
Bouncing things to their hand doesn't matter, though. This is just not a league. Well, so far, these first two matches are not. Like, I don't want to... This might be a matchup for Echoing Truth. I don't really like Echoing Truth in this matchup. Because bouncing stuff back to their hand, they can just redeploy it with, like, Conflagrate. You just give them fuel. I can't bounce my own. I would never bounce my own stuff. The Shaper Sanctuary is an interesting choice because there are quite a few cards out there that are so annoying.
Would Conflagrate activate Shaper's?
Conflagrate. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So I think I only would draw one card off the Conflagrate. But if they have, say, what's it called? Dark Blast, I would draw a card every time they use that. "26 creatures. I'm just going to run it like this. I could take out some Silver Gill Adepts for the Shaper Sanctuary. Silver Gill Adepts is pretty poor. It usually is pretty poor in this matchup. No Silver... There's no...
Good.
Good is very relative. I'll keep it, though. It's not really that good. Our opponent
This
didn't do
hand
it.
will push you over the top.
Come on, Lords. Just draw... I'll take that. I can force a negation in that. So force a negating that initial Cathartic Reunion
Did a lot.
might have helped us.
Did some damage.
And maybe we'll do it again.
Hugs.
There is a Dredger, but... Yeah, so we're doing this to buy time, basically.
One time I says, if they keep that up, those hugs are going to turn into tugs. And he says they're both women. Oops.
Let's attack for 3. So now, even if our opponent has like an okay dredge hand where they get the Prize Amalgam in play, it comes to play tapped. Ooh, shenanigans. Not going to do any garbage to me right now.
But in time. City of Ass.
Because it's whiteboarded, it looks fake to me. Well, they took damage to play this Thug, so I don't mind. Ooh!
Just keep coming.
But I think it's more important to get the Lord in play. What would they put back on top of their library? They have dredgers? They have dredgers, so attacking here is more or less free. I've never seen a dredge player block so much with Golgari Thug. Never.
That happened once in a while.
They're gonna put their own Thug on top of their library. So we'll have Force Negation ready on future turns while we can somewhat freely attack. Creeping Chill. Ooh. I don't mind Creeping Chill, but I do mind the Conflagrate. So they've got 3 cards in hand, so they can kill 1 Lord. That puts us in a good spot. So maybe they're going to take some... They might wait a turn, or maybe they won't. They're in a pretty dire situation right now. If they wait 1 turn, they'll go down to 6. What do they have in their hand? Or maybe they'll play Stinkweed Imp, just hardcast the thing?
No, you don't.
No, okay. You have Ancient Grudge.
Good stuff. Thank you.
I don't... Oh, I guess I'll play this. So this is their only black source. They have no cards in hand. Golgari Thug, Light from the Loam. But this is dealing damage to them. Anyway. I guess I'll hit their
Come on, second to Spreading Seas. Let's see it.
black source.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh, not bad.
It's not bad. Definitely will take this. Make their Conflagrates more difficult. Here we go! So we threaten lethal.
And
So they really needed to loam into a Conflagrate, and then loam some lands back and Conflagrate like one of these creatures.
He's done.
Yeah, it's over.
Gotta go to the bank loam.
So
Bank loam.
they're using Force Negation aggressively early on in the game.
I did it.
Bought us a lot of time in both those games. I don't know if that should be a standard thing to do, but it really worked out for us. You know, it's a big deal between this prized amalgam entering the battlefield on turn 2 and turn... Like, just one turn slower gives us so much more time, and it did put us in a position where they had to use that Conflagrate immediately on our board. Otherwise, they would be too far behind if they would just try to dredge into more stuff. So anyway, okay, so we win our second match. Let's move on to round 3.
Flying Bird. Bird Tribal.
I guess we'll keep this. We won the die roll.
Again.
Yeah, we've won 3 out of 3 for the die rolls. That's good. Make up for all those die rolls I've been losing lately. I'm on to you, Wizards. I'm on to you.
Hey, Mulligan.
Every single time that I say something like, I'm on to you,
Going to 5.
everything changes.
Says in the Neo form.
Maybe. Could be Tron, though. I find that when my opponent is mulliganing aggressively, it's an indication of Tron.
A Mulligan is aggressive.
So I'll play Misty Rainforest that we fetch and get a breeding pool out of our deck.
Bond with me, Karn.
Not the most aggressive start, but at least we're on the play, so it won't feel too punishing. Godless Shrine.
Philifort.
No.
Well, what is it, Bogles then, or what?
No, it's probably like it's like a Jund-like deck. Attrition. Like, that's the only thing I can... oh, man. I don't want to take the time to play this card. I'll wait till the next turn to play it. Rather just curve out right now. So next turn I can play Lord of Atlantis and Aether Vial. That'll be fine. It'd be a waste of tempo to play Aether Vial right now. I think it will be a waste of tempo. We have enough mana to just cast everything anyway. So at next turn, when we have 3 mana, we'll play the Aether Vial plus a Lord. Okay, they have green. So that means they could have Maelstrom Pulse in their deck. Ooh. Here's Stoneforge Mystic.
Bring your Battle School.
Depends. Oh, they are okay. They are going to get Batterskull. So Batterskull can be beaten. Batterskull is not our worst fear. Worst fear are swords. I know I showed them Lord of... do I play the Lord of Atlantis?
A lot.
So the idea is that they might have Maelstrom Pulse in their deck. I don't know that. And the idea is if they kill the Lord of Atlantis, then if I play the Master of the Pearl Tridents later, they'll be vulnerable to Maelstrom Pulse. So I prefer to lead off with Master of the Pearl Trident. But this is the card that they know about. So I guess this is the card I'm going to play. If they don't kill anything, I'm going to dump my hand on the board next turn anyway. So nothing, that doesn't change. So we sort of need a Spreading Seas or a Trickster to tap down this Germ token.
Of course.
Okay, we don't have to worry about Maelstrom Pulse anymore.
Of course.
Of course. Of course. We are going to draw quite a few cards over the next few turns because I can hard cast this Master of the Pearl Trident and then start cracking these Waterlogged Groves. That's not bad at all. And our opponent doesn't know about it. So I can't attack right now because our opponent will just put a Batterskull in play and block something basically for free. So I would rather not. If they put a Batterskull in play, gain 4 life, that's not the end of the world. It's a very slow clock. We are attacking for shitloads of damage.
Here it come.
Like, when we attack for damage, it's going to be for a lot. I mean, we're just a few lords away from just blocking the Batterskull. It's a sword that's... Well, even right now, a sword wouldn't be too concerning unless they kill something and then hit with a sword. I can't do anything about this Germ. Germ going to come in. So what are we looking for? We're looking for Oko. We can Oko this stupid Batterskull, and then it will be of no concern to us.
Oy.
Tarmogoyf.
Still very small. Small graveyard.
It's a small Tarmogoyf. Oh.
What are you paying life for? What are you doing?
More Tarmogoyfs, probably. Oh, news. It's not that big of a deal either. Hey, come on, Okos.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Tarmogoyfs and the Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Even Brazen Borrower would be good right now.
Poof! Not bad.
I guess I'll crack this now, see what we draw. If it's Spreading Seas, I would want to play that immediately. We're just drawing a few more lands than we want to. We started with a pretty heavy mana. Yeah, we're drawing a lot of mana sources. Pass. Our opponent's not in a very good spot to attack. With anything other than the Germ token. And if it attacks, I'm just going to let it attack.
Really?
Yeah, we can take, what, at least 3 more hits? Right, like, I'm not concerned with the amount of damage that this Germ token is making. I'm a lot more concerned, like, because we can... Whatever, it just takes like 2 big hits from us to kill them. And I don't want to do anything about the Germ token, because they can just bounce the Batterskull back to their hand, replay it with Stoneforge, and you have to deal with it all over again. There's no creatures in the graveyard or there's 1 creature in the graveyard for the Scavenging Ooze to take advantage of, but that's not too. I don't think that's a big problem.
He's got 1 card in hand.
Wonder if they're gonna move the Batterskull to like the Tarmogoyf or something this turn. What are you gonna do? It only takes me 1 more Lord, then I can start blocking this Germ. Nothing. Spreading Seas, please. Oh, that's what we were looking for. Okay. Okay. Sweet. Okay, Oko, Thief of Crowns. Gonna show why he's stealing things so well.
We're going upstairs.
This is hilarious. Alright, this is the first time we're using this card. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities. Oh, it's not gonna work so well. They could bounce the Batterskull back to hand for 3 men and then replay it.
So use Trickster on it.
I could use Trickster on Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, well, I mean, I could still force our opponent to use up mana like this. It also taxes our opponent's mana by quite a lot. Okay, hold on. So, yeah, this costs 3 mana. I keep forgetting about the return Batterskull back to hand nonsense. Oko is a great draw. So how do we utilize this Oko to the maximum? We could make food tokens. I guess one issue is that they're ready to attack us next turn. Or attack Oko. And we have to do something about it. Okay, let's tax our opponent's mana every turn. Yeah, so they're going to return it. No elk for you. Play land draw for the turn and pass. So if this is going to prevent our opponent from taking any drastic measures, like it's going to prevent our opponent from ever just wanting to cast anything. They have 5 mana, and if they want this Batterskull to stay on the battlefield, then this is what they have to do. Now at the beginning of combat... Ugh, I don't like that.
Just gotta use it.
Yes, I do. I guess we'll hit the germ token. Might as well.
Join my island.
We can start turning like Tarmogoyf into... Well, they played a land. So we can turn like, for example, Tarmogoyf into a 3/3 creature, downgrade it. I could turn Stoneforge Mystic into a 3/3 creature.
That'll stop all the...
Yeah, it'll stop any future shenanigans with Batterskull. Then we just have to wait it out one more turn. Maybe that was just the correct thing to do in the first place, but we didn't... Oh, Mutavault's a good draw because that'll give us a chump blocker. We're actually at a point where we can exchange Oko with... with any of the creatures. So what do we do? I think... Yeah, you have to fetch.
Empty-handed. Start turning things into crap.
Okay, so we start with Stoneforge Mystic. It's hilarious this looks.
Oko could be the next big thing. We're seeing it here.
Yeah, next turn it's going to be Batterskull. Every turn I'm going to turn something into garbage.
Garbage that is weaker than everything on your board.
What is going on here? You're literally going to rebounce Batterskull and play it again? As like pseudo-vigilance? I guess so. Well, it cost them some life, but I guess it's life they can afford to pay. Okay, otherwise we could do a pretty good attack here. Okay, they got an elk. And from here we're just going to turn everything into elks. Turn Batterskull into an elk next turn. Okay, we're on defense. I can chump block. If they put Batterskull on any of these creatures, we can just chump block it. They lose the germ token, so they didn't really gain anything. This is funny.
Stoneforge, you came back only to get turned into an elk.
Yeah. A moose to your goose.
You're gonna go for a jump.
And like, even if they attack Oko with the germ token, I'm just still gonna let it happen, I guess. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I don't care.
Yeah, he's going for it.
It goes down to 2.
Gonna throw a bolt at it. What are you gonna do?
I guess we're just gonna let it happen. Why lose the resources? Oh, but they can continue to bounce this back to their hand. That's the problem. The Batterskull is a reusable resource over and over and over and over again. So I need to wait for a Lord to be able to block this germ token.
It's coming.
Or I can make like almost infinite blockers with the food tokens as well.
Hey!
So that helps me a lot. Well, let's see what we draw. No, hold on. No, we can return the Batterskull. We can hit the Batterskull because they have to return it back to their hand. That's a good draw too. Okay, so hit Batterskull again.
Use up their resources.
Use up those resources.
Mega Man.
Yeah, I forgot. Stoneforge Mystic can't put it back in play, so them returning... Like, this isn't going to last forever. They're going to return it back to their hand. They're going to play it on their turn, but then we hit it. Then we just nailed it again.
That's what we were telling those faithless looting players all these years. This isn't going to last forever.
This is not going to last forever. Alright, so they just decide we're going to turn into... It's just going to be a green creature. So let's play... Benthic Biomancer. Let's loot. Actually, I shouldn't do that. I should calculate. Do I just win here? I have a Spreading Sea, so this is... I'm getting so excited about these other interactions. I just have...
6,
They're at 22 life. Because there's one creature in the graveyard. This is 4, 8, 12, 18, 22. Okay, forget all that stuff I just said. Then none of it matters. If anything, I should have... Yeah, none of it matters.
Nothing really matters.
4, 8... Okay, this is 10. 14, 18, 22, 21. There's seriously no creatures in the graveyard? Just one creature? Yeah. And walk. Oko, Thief of Crowns.
Came in there.
Did it matter?
Yeah.
Let's just say it did.
Mattered tons.
Makes it feel worth the money.
This card is going to be huge.
That was great! I mean, what it did in this sort of mid-range game, and this is definitely going to be the matchup for Oko going forward, that's for sure. All these Stoneforge Mystic decks, they just... They crumble to Oko. This maybe is the reason why they unbanned Stoneforge Mystic. Well, we've got tons of answers to Stoneforge. Stoneforge is not in the greatest place, so I just assume that Shaper Sanctuary is going to be good. We do want the other two Spreading Seizes. I'll trim one land. I think Brazen Borrower will be good. I don't know if Force and Negation is going to be that good in an attrition-based matchup like this. I want some counter spells, but I don't want that many. I guess I could shave one Vial too. Like, I think Vial is still good in this matchup. Like, you do want to curve out. You want all those options available. Okay, we'll try it out like this.
Interesting enough, we didn't see a single flying bird.
We have Shaper Sanctuary in hand with no green mana, but I think I'm going to keep it anyway. It's got Spreading Seas and Master of the Pearl Trident and Lord of Atlantis.
They went to 5.
Yeah, but if they've got Stoneforge Mystic, that helps them a lot. But if interestingly, there's like no removal in that game. I'm sure they're going to pack a lot more going into this game.
Pack it up their ass.
The best thing that we could draw is a green source for the Shaper Sanctuary on turn 1. That'd be perfect. Turn 1 Sanctuary into Lords. Green source. Oh! You asking that... What's the phrase from?
Asking you shall receive.
Asking you shall receive. Thanks, Lhasa.
Generally, though, you're supposed to ask for others. And with other people.
This is for the Merfolk community and everyone watching. That's why I came. Playing a little bit with Shaper Sanctuary, it's okay if you don't have it on turn 1. It's ideal. I think it's worse as a top deck late in the game, but if you have it in your opening hand and you can get it out on turn 3, it will still be effective. I'm still not I do understand Shaper Sanctuary does help, especially in these matchups, but I'm not the largest proponent of this card. Okay, so how are we curving out? We are gonna play.
Take him off that white man. Could be the only white man he's got.
There is no white man in play. This is a fetch land.
Oh.
So that is where you try to Spreading Seas that when they fetch, and you're like, well, this didn't work out at all.
I'm sure I did that at least once or twice.
I'll start off with Silver Gill Adept. And the next turn we can play Lord into another Lord into Spreading Seas on the final turn. I might play Spreading Seas a little bit early if they indicate to me that they're short on mana. That could happen. We're definitely in the driver's seat here. I mean, for everything, they have to get rid of the Shaper Sanctuary first before they start killing our creatures. Oh, they might Assassin's Trophy the Sanctuary, but we still get a card.
Yep.
Okay, they do. So, win. It's still a win, to be honest. That's still a win.
Ramped.
We now can play 2 things next turn. 2 Lords.
You gonna pay life jump? You gonna do it?
You hear that? My brother called you a chump. Lily? Liliana, the $100 has arrived. Makes me regret not playing the Mutavault, because if I did that, then I'd have the mana for to get rid of it.
Wipe her off the face of the earth.
Okay, so maybe there is no white mana. I'm willing to Spreading Seas here, and then playing a Merfolk Trickster at instant speed. And also, we have a Mutavault in play to also deal with the Liliana of the Veil anyway. We have a lot of cards in hand.
Hopefully that screwed him over big time.
Liliana's probably going to screw them over too. I mean, if they want to tick the Liliana up, it's going to eat up one of their cards. I'm sure their cards are more valuable than our cards. Plague Engineer. It's not going to be that good. We've got a lot of lords in hand. We have a lot of lords. I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Merfolk. Yeah, and they don't even play anything. I'm sorry, they don't tick up their Liliana. They know it's not going to be good for them. It's not going to be good for their health.
For your health. Dr. Steve Brule.
It's the best way to empty our hand here. I guess just play 2 lords, to be honest. We need to keep density of lords on the battlefield. And we can play Biomancer and Master of the Pearl Trident next turn anyway. Do I even do anything about this Liliana right now?
Might as well.
It's not helping them.
Well, alright then.
Whatever, we'll get rid of Liliana anyway. Just in case, I don't know, they draw a land. Well, they have no white mana right now, so... But there was definitely the option to just attack them. We will attack for a lot next turn. They got white mana again. Okay. Yeah, but they're
my gut.
But they're running out of cards. Sort of want to keep this Botanical Sanctum in our hand to filter for Benthic Biomancer. One card in hand is good. Alright. We are running very good against our opponent. This is everything a Plague Engineer does not want to see. So now we can just attack for a clear 7. Even if they kill one of the lords, it doesn't matter. Let's not forget that they are opponent. What, they mulligan to 5?
Yeah, both games though.
Oh, well, they might have been playing greedy for their Stoneforge Mystic, but I doubt it. So what likely is happening here is, yeah, I mean, it looks like we're steamrolling them because our deck is good, but it's much more likely it's just because our opponent is running bad. Even if our opponent kept 7 cards, I think this would still be a game. Because we have just so many lords. I would just have to play it way more cautiously. That's the only difference. I'd have to play way more cautiously. Like, I would not attack with this lord, for example, if I had, if they had more cards in hand and more mana and more resources.
Weasel? Well, what are you going to do?
Probably resign.
He's at 5, you're at 20.
They can draw,
he's done.
They can draw a card.
And he's done.
Yeah, that's it.
Easy.
So that was nice. We got to see some Oko. I was getting scared we weren't going to see Oko in this league, but we saw Oko, and it was great. And even if we didn't draw the Spreading Seas, it was going to turn after turn all the creatures
into trash.
Into trash. So it looks like the very first moment I could use Oko, I should have elked the Stoneforge Mystic so that they can't keep bouncing the Batterskull and replaying it, and then after that we could bounce. Then we could target the Batter Skull. That was a better use of Oko. And the loyalty is so high, made it difficult for our opponent to attack into it. All right, so that was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. All right, so we lost the die roll. So this is the first time we've lost the die roll.
Ever.
We can keep this. That's fine. This hand looks great. I'm really interested to see how Brazen Borrower is going to work in this sort of, especially in this sort of hand. We go turn 1 Kumena Speaker, turn 2 Merfolk Mistbinder. This would be even more perfect if we have Ether Vial, because then we could bounce something every single turn with the Borrower.
They went to 5.
We're running well this league. So this league is not really indicating the strength of our cards. It's just showing our luck. Winning a lot of... We didn't win this die roll, but we won a lot of die rolls so far.
You know what? With the London Mulligan, it doesn't matter if you go to 5 anymore.
Well, I mean, that's the perspective of a lot of people. Prairie Stream, so maybe this is going to be Blue Eye Control.
You're gonna be in control.
Let's... I do want more land, so I'm not going to fetch right now. Let's play this Breeding Pool. If this is... Oh, well, I mean, it's probably not... It might not be Blue Eye Control. It could be Stoneblade. Prairie Stream. Why play this, though? This is like a budget card. I don't get this. Oh, you can fetch it? Just... Is this a budget deck? I don't understand why you would play this.
Style points.
Unless you control 2 or more basic lands. I don't know, maybe it works in the deck. Oh, it's gonna be
Scapeshift.
one of these decks. No, it's not Scapeshift. Wall of Blossoms. Oh, is it one of these Blinky decks? This is an island, right? So we can island walk past this. Excellent, we drew an island walker. So we're just gonna go island walker into island walker. Island walk past them.
Michael Jackson had the moonwalk, but you have the island walk.
This hand would be perfect if we were on the play. So I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be this Blink deck. Yeah, the Soul Herder deck.
Is.
So they're going to draw a bunch of cards, but it's not that good against us. So they're going to blink this.
It looks
They're
like
gonna
just
draw
like
a
a
card.
giant bed bug or something.
Oh yeah, it looks like a giant bug. This thing gets bigger, but like, so the question is, can I just ignore it? Just attack with, like, there's no ultimate combo here, right?
When it gets big enough, just bounce it with the adventure.
It's not a bad plan. So Merfolk, I could just bounce it now. This puts a lot more pressure on our opponent. Like, this deck gets a lot of value, but like I don't care. Like, what are you gonna attack me for next turn?
So someone went really far with this deck, like a GP or something?
No, they did. They went really far in online events. Collected Company. Is there a combo here? If there's an instant kill here, then we're in trouble. But if there's not, then I don't care. They conceded.
Ha!
That's the power of Simic Merfolk. Turn 4 kill. That's right. We had the turn 4 kill. So this is a matchup I just think we're going to be grossly favored in. Well, they have Coco. Okay, hold on. So creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries.
Coco.
But unfortunately, what would be really good in this matchup are some sort of effect where it says if it enters the battlefield and it wasn't cast, it gets exiled instead. Is Oko going to be good in here?
Yeah, just snap that Soul Hoarder into a elk.
Oh yeah, turn into an... Oh, but they can blink it. That's the problem. Do they target my stuff? I think so. What does a Soul Herder deck look like? The problem with...
Pile of shit.
The problem with Soul Herder
Remember that scene
is... I beat it too quickly before it beats me.
Remember that scene from Jurassic Park where there's that big pile of Triceratops shit?
Yeah.
That's what a Soul Herder deck looks like. There you go.
I need to see a sample list. Banned Soul Herder. Okay, I know they got the Coiling Oracle, Ice Fang Quaddle. They have Deputy of Detention, Soul Herder. Like, none of this matters, really. Could they have Path to Exile?
Can Deputy of Detention suck up a Planeswalker? I'm guessing not.
Yes. Any non-land permanent.
Oh, that's bullshit.
What does it say? Yeah, non-land permanent. They're going to bring in... I don't even know what they're going to bring in. They don't even have anything good. Knight of Autumn, I guess. But that's not important. I don't know. I guess I'll bring in Deprive. And take out the Spreading Seas. I'm assuming they're going to have islands to give us for Island Walk. Nothing else really impresses me. And I'll keep Force Negation for their, like, I don't know, collected companies on their turn. So we don't need Grafdigger's Cage for collected company. Force Negation might be enough. Brazen Borrower might help us, like bounce the Soul Herder. That basically buys us a turn. I'll keep this.
It's good.
It's fine.
I guess 6. Gonna go to 5.
Well, Ether Vial might not be the greatest thing. We'll find out. It might just get blown up by a Knight of the Reliquary.
Knight of Autumn.
Sorry, Knight of Autumn? Yeah, Knight of Autumn. A lot of knights out there. Knights are coming back.
How many snow permanents does this asshole control?
3. No, sorry. 1. Death Touch, you need 3? Okay, so we have some time. We got time. This doesn't really look like the spot that I want my Brazen Borrower, but maybe it is. So I don't really want to... Okay, so here's the deal. I don't want to play Silvergill, because if I do, then I have nothing to do with my Ether Vial when it gets to 2. So the most mana efficient thing to do is either use this mana for Benthic Biomancer or Brazen Borrower. So like if my opponent plays Soul Herder and then blinks, targets this, I could Brazen Borrower it back to hand. I can still, and I'm still effectively drawing a card if I play Benthic Biomancer and then loot. So I'm going to keep my options open.
See what this jackass does. Silch. Oh. Get in the red zone.
Get in that red zone. So this is where Soul Herder maybe blinks it. And the cool thing is eventually... Yeah, so there's Soul Herder. So this... Okay, so I'll... I don't know if this is the best use of this card. But this is what I'm going to do. Now I'll put the Benthic Biomancer in play. And now I've got this Brazen Borrower that I can cast at instant speed whenever I want. Ugh, Commander Speaker. Okay, let's attack for 1. And only 1. I guess the other option is bounce this thing.
How many times can you use the adventure mode on it? Just once?
Just once. Okay, so no, there's going to be no Eternal Witness. Can't have, you don't have anything to get, so play Silvergill Adept first. Because I could draw Deprive, in theory. Do not, so this just resolves. And we'll play Brazen Borrower. Flying creature. So they get some land. It's fine. That is fine. Can't do anything else with your turn. This is glitchy. Fix it, wizards. Hey. It's distracting the crap out of me.
It's new. Just give them a break.
Look at the value.
They only make 20 million a year. Give them a break.
I think they make more than that. Just one set sometimes makes 20 million. That was value. Guess that's why you bounced the Soul Herder. But I want to be able to do all this stuff.
Spreading seas. Didn't happen.
Well, let's loot the Biomancer. See if I draw a Lord. I do. Okay, we'll dump this. And that...
Oh, no, wait. You have Island Walk.
Well, I will once I put this Lord in
but
play.
I mean, he's got an island.
Oh, I
flyer.
didn't attack with my last one. Shoot. Yeah, it's a flyer. That's sad. Whatever. We have lethal next turn. I'm on blocking duty for that Codal. Unless my opponent gains an obscene amount of life this turn.
Are we going to see the combo? Yeah, you can just...
I don't have... Also, I didn't necessarily need to have Merfolk Mistbinder in play. Well, that's a problem.
What does that card do? What does that card do?
Gain an extra turn.
Oh.
Oh, and they're going to loop this with the Eternal Witness. Okay, so I lose.
Ah.
What a crappy way to lose. Okay, so I'm right to have the... Yeah, they'll just do this for forever. Until they draw their entire deck. That's pretty cool.
Fuck you.
Let's see. Grafdigger's Cage. No. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Is Time Warp in this list? I didn't see Time Warp in here. If I knew there was Time Warp, I would hold back the Force of Negation for sure. But maybe I should have, Merfolk Mistbinder in my hand for Force of Negation. This hand's good. I like it.
Move history stuck.
Have we had Ether Vial every single... I think every turn... I think we've had Ether Vial every single time. This is a very good hand, too.
It's not bad. It is a hand, yes.
What's this all about? You have a stifle effect somehow? Or did they just assume I was going to pass? Oh, whatever. Oh, you got an island? Great.
Roll up 2 lords next turn. What do you got? Nature's Claim?
No. So, oh man, our hand looks really good right now. I mean, unless they do something devastating. Well, I mean, Deputive Detention would be pretty good. But we can bounce that, I guess. What's the best use of our mana here?
2 lords.
We could play 2 lords, or we can play a Kamena Speaker and a lord. Okay, I'll just play 2 lords. Hopefully they don't have Deputive Detention. Won't be the end of the world. We do have the Brazen Borrower. Or I could have played around it. Like, I don't need to attack for 4 here. I could just play... There's a lot of ways to play around this Deputive Detention. I can just pass the turn.
This Deputy Detention that you don't even know exists.
They hit the Lord of Atlantis, then I just play Lord of Atlantis afterwards. So if I play Kamena Speaker, wait a turn for Brazen Borrower, that will be lethal. And they have a very slow hand here.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Well, they're pretty close to time warping, though. I don't know, is time warp stock in this sort of list now? Looks good. Great interaction. Infinite time warps. Definitely fits the deck. No hate. I'm not hating on the time warp idea. Just unexpected.
Lord does it.
You're gonna pass something, and I can't bounce it to my hand. But then again, if I wanted to bounce it with Echoing Truth, that's not great either.
How dare you?
How dare you? So I guess I can attack with both. There's no more white mana left. If they want to chump block, then they chump block. And we'll have force. We do have force. We technically have force negation up. We also have lethal if we can top deck an Island Walk Lord.
Pay life. Oh yeah, of course.
Time warp.
Why wouldn't
I'm gonna exile that time warp.
Why wouldn't you pay life?
People love paying life.
Here it comes.
Looks like it so far. Oh no, maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we're prepared this time. I'm not letting this happen.
3.
And you're not. No,
2,
they're still alive.
1.
Fortunately, it's a sorcery. It wouldn't have even been that good. I mean, they're just literally taking another turn. Island Walk Lord wins. Not an Island Walk Lord, but now we're in a situation where, like, now if they time warp, like, I don't know where it goes. Well, no, okay, that's not true. They can. No, I don't know where it goes unless they can cast it from the graveyard somehow. So I'll keep this card in my hand just in case we draw Benthic Biomancer.
3, 2.
I mean, they might be able to get out of this if they time warp. But it requires like a lot of land drops. Yeah.
Whiff. Now we're gonna see the concede. Concede in 2.
So if they
1.
find Eternal Witness, they could recycle the Path to Exile. What were we drawing? Not good stuff. So we really did need to win right then and there. But that is the power of the Simic Merfolk deck. You put your opponent in the position to win or like deal with our board very quickly because we're putting the pressure to kill them. So I do believe this is a very good matchup. Great tech with the time warp, as we saw, that just won the game on the spot. I could have played around it. I could have just played the Island Walk Lord in play, deal a little less damage by not putting the Merfolk Mistbinder in play, so we held up Force of Negation. And I think we still would have had lethal. I would have to look back to be sure, but I think we still had lethal. And if our opponent doesn't play Time Warp, then we could just vial the Merfolk Mistbinder in play.
You fucking won.
Hey, you gotta play accurately. You know, there's a lot of ways you can win. Even when you can't have that attitude. When you win, you still gotta look to see how you could play better. Because maybe our opponent will have an even better deck next time. We gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared for those Time Warps. If you want to be prepared for those Time Warps, you gotta play more accurately. So we won the die roll again, so we've been really lucky with the die rolls. I have a hand with, like, creatures in a vial, so I'll keep it. We got a Waterlog Grove that we can cycle away. We're up against Matsugan. Now, my experience, this person always plays like just whatever really busted nonsense deck that he can grab.
Throwing shade. Matsugan getting blown the fuck out.
There's a lot of always some stupid busted deck. I've never seen a fair deck out of this guy.
Just watch, he's playing Merfolk.
We'll see. I doubt it. Like the last time I played against him, it was turbo counters. What is it going to be today? Neoform? Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. What was it? Chancellor of the Tango. I called it! I called it! I can see right through you, Matsugan. The guy's just not looking to play a... This is a solitaire player. It's just all solitaire. Anyway, I have nothing I can do here. We'll show the Comena speaker, because that's what I'm going to play. Force! Force! Not that bad. At least puts a clock on the board. They mulligan once?
Yeah.
Helps. Alright, so they're after... they might be they might be really stuck on land. Yeah, they took a draw step, then played Once Upon a Time, so they're stuck on land.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What can I do here?
Crack.
I can attack for 6. No, I'm not going to crack anything. Well, I actually could fetch. So what I'll do is I will play the Lord of Atlantis. This might put me in the best position to win the game. And then on our following turn... So I'm going to fetch, and then on our following turn... Because if we draw... I think we draw a Lord, we win? Yeah, if we draw a Lord, we win. So I will fetch to thin the deck. I'm hoping they miss on a land drop here, because that's probably what they're looking for to win the game. Okay, we're dead. I'm only assuming. So the idea was... we're not dead yet? Oh, this is going to be Manamorphose. Yeah, we still could be dead. But the point was, fetch, thin the deck on our turn, play Waterlog Grove, crack it, hope to find a Lord, and we lose. I'm glad. Maybe we just got it. Maybe we just have to have all the Grafdigger's cages back. Oh, they cannot go too deep with the Grizzlebrand yet, and we do have. Hold on, it's not over yet. We got the Trickster, fortunately. So we can Trickster this thing. Before this resolves, they gain a bunch of life. They'll gain life, but they can't do anything on their turn. It might buy us some time. Let's see what happens. So they gain a bunch of life, but it's going to be our turn. We get to attack for at least 11, putting them down. They have 1 activation available. Oh, shoot. Allosaurus Rider comes into play. Okay, what do I want? We're going to draw basically 2 cards next turn.
2 lords would be sweet.
Brazen Borrower would be good. I mean, they might try to win right here. That was terrible. Not ideal, but whatever. Attack. None of this is ideal. They still have an activation. Well, and they also can attack.
You don't want to take a chance?
We have nothing to lose to gain some life here. Another Summoner's Pact. Another Summoner's Pact. Well, whatever they plan on doing, they're going to win this turn. I guess that's the point, Summoner's Pact to thin the deck. I'm sure there's some strategy to, like, get the deck to a number divisible by 7 so that they can draw exactly the entire deck and guarantee that they win. Well, we almost won. We almost won. We needed them to brick on 1 more land drop. Or, no, they couldn't even draw Once Upon a Time because that would cost 2 mana. Because it looks like we would have drawn the Lord in order to win the game.
Wah, wah. You're heavily favored in round 2.
I'm just wondering in my head, what if I waited to wait for them to play like Laboratory Maniac, and then in response to their what if I waited for them to play Laboratory Maniac, and then in response to them trying to draw the last card in their deck, I Merfolk Trickster. I try to activate Vile Merfolk Trickster the damn thing. Would that work? Gain 4 life. If you had a land drop, gain 8 instead. There's Laboratory Maniac.
We still got 1 card, doesn't he?
Yes, but they can just activate this. But I guess in response to Aether Vial, it would still work. I mean, if in response to Aether Vial, they could just activate this again if they have enough life. And they win.
What if you were the Trickster Laboratory Maniac?
Well, no, but that's the point. Trickster Laboratory Maniac.
Oh, is that true?
Okay, so what do we want? We want the Deprive again. We want Grafdigger's Cage again. We want Chalice again. We do not want Spreading Seas. We don't want Oko. I don't want really Brazen Borrower. And we don't want... I guess the Trickster is not that important. Okay. So what, have we only lost to, like, Neoform so far?
Yeah. You'll win the Pro Tour somehow.
Oh, that's Ugin. Why? Why does this deck have to exist? It's maybe the final piece of the puzzle was the this Once Upon a Time card. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's still there's probably some way to combat it, just like any other deck. Just play more Grafdigger's Cages. I'm sure I'm not 100% certain, but I bet Inquisition and Thoughtseize decks have like a decent chunk of game against it. Or maybe does it? Like, what does Inquisition hit? Manamorphose or something? It doesn't actually hit it. It doesn't hit anything important. It can't hit Summoner. No, I guess it can hit Summoner's Pact. Yeah, that thing costs 0. Yeah, we definitely want to go first. Yeah, we can keep this. This is a good hand.
All these fairy tales in Eldraine, but Little Mermaid gets shit representation.
Oh, well, no, it got representation, but just didn't get the
Yeah, that's what I was saying, shit representation.
It was represented in ways we did not want. This hand's very good. If we can get to a second island, I don't think we'll lose. Because then we'll have 2 counters up. That's a lot of counters. So we get to put... we can put a lot of creatures in play. Sure, we'll start with Silvergale. Or do we?
Revealing Benny or whoever.
Okay, next turn you can play land, Neoform. Can't defend it, so... I'll reveal Commander Speaker, because that's what just deals more damage. And also we want to keep Benthic Biomancer in our hand to pitch away. Because I would rather pitch the Force Negation, pitch Benthic Biomancer, and then hold up Deprive in the future turns.
He's going.
Things are going well for us. They're willing to go for it this turn. It's fine with me. It's going to backfire badly. Oh, they're playing Pact of Negation? Okay, I lose. This is definitely a card that Matsugan would play. Just all in. Let's just go super all in on this thing. I guess I could have played more patiently. I don't know if I believe in playing super patient when they've got cards like, what's it called? Veil of Summer. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe just playing patiently was just the way to go anyway.
Stupid. These don't count as actual losses.
Oh, it does.
No, it does not. You went 5-0 in this league.
Anyway, I've played against, like, whatever. Matsugan can do whatever he wants, but he definitely plays like this. His style is super degenerate all-in decks. Just super all-in. maybe this one will be inconsistent enough, or sorry, maybe this one will be consistent enough to be very real. Anyway, it's very hard for this deck to fizzle. Now they've drawn almost the entire deck. There's Laboratory Maniac. Alright. Good game. So, guess we just lost to just Neoform.
Just hold on.
Let's go to our collection. Let's go to the deck tech view. Deck worked out overall very well in the grand scheme of things. So some things that could change. Like, I don't know what the future of the modern metagame is going to look like yet, but if Neoform really did get the boost that it needed from the, what's it called? Once Upon a Time card, we need to go back up to 4 Grafdigger's Cages, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You just have to go back up to 4, and then we'll have our invincible lineup of counter spells that hopefully they can't beat. Oko and Brazen Borrower not impressive in that matchup, but who cares? We just want them for the other matchups. We did see play out of Oko, did great in the Abzan Stoneblade deck. Worked beautifully there. Too bad we couldn't see the life gain portion of Oko. We did not see that. What other matchups did we play?
Soul Hoarder.
Soul Hoarder. I guess Oko is fine there. Brazen Borrower was like okay tempo card, but not necessary. We did get to see play out of these cards. I did like it. I like Brazen Borrower. You can bounce something, attack. Would love to see it in more matchups, but we played against some degenerate stuff here. We played against, I guess, like 3 out of 5. It didn't matter. Soul Herder, we could just ignore their game plan and just island walk to victory. We just race them better than they race us, and then we were up against 2 Neoform decks where you want to make your curve as low as possible, back it up with Force of Negate, have as many counter spells as possible. Yeah,
we'll see what happens next week.
Maybe we could win that Neoform one, unless they had, knowing Matsugan, 4 Force of Negations in that deck for sure, 100%. There's no doubt about that. But that's where Chalice of the Void comes in play. Play Chalice on 0, cuts all that stuff off. Chalice of the Void actually was probably more effective than it usually was. Did we side that in? I'm pretty sure we sided that in.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
I think I sided in 7 cards. What did we side out? The Okos, the Brazen Borrowers, the Spreading Seas, yeah, and a Trickster. So, yeah, we definitely sided it in. Chalice on 0. Good against Neoform.
Good against a lot of things.
But anyway, I like the look of these cards. Do we need both of them? I don't know. For sure, if you are playing Mono Blue, this is probably a 4 of in your deck. If you're playing Simic, probably a 2 of. I think 2 of is okay, and I think having it in the main deck is fine. It's usually the last thing you're going to play anyway, and even if it's good early, then play it early. But usually that, I think, if we're trying to deal with an Ensnaring Bridge, it's going to be the last thing you play anyway. You don't need to play this before you've played out all your creatures, so I like Oko Thief of Crowns in the main. For now, as far as I see. If Neoform is really going to take over, then maybe this is just the card that we want to have in our sideboard. But then again, there's like nothing here I want in my main deck. I mean, maybe Chalice of the Void, but that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know if we're in a Chalice metagame yet. But list is cool. I guess this is something similar to what I'll be playing with in the future. So that's going to wrap up this league. Even though we went 3-2, like we only lost to Neoform, and in my opinion, they ran very well. I can't tell yet. We're going to have to wait to see how Once Upon a Time makes it consistent, because in the past, I crushed Neoform. I basically couldn't lose to the deck. I also had more interaction. I didn't have as many like Grafdigger's Cages in this league.
Rudy.
Oh yeah, we were up against Dredge. So maybe Grafdigger, I don't know. Like, Dredge is still around. Maybe we got to up the Grafdigger's Cages. So that's going to be it for this week. We're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. We're also going to thank the manabase.com and the MTG Mastermind for being our sponsors. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing with Simic Merfolk in Modern.